Beloit, Wisconsin is located within the middle of a long 50-mile string of cities along the Rock River between Rockford, Illinois to the south and Janesville, Wisconsin to the north. Man, looking at this map spin, it's like you're drunk or something.
What is up, guys? If you're new to this channel, make sure you check the link down below. It shows you an interactive map on all the places that I've made videos on so far. All you have to do is click on the link to the map, and then you can click on a pin which will take you to a link of said place.
I visited Beloit back in August of 2020 during a setting sun, and I start the video near a pair of truck stops off of the last mile of the Illinois Tollway in South Beloit. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe, as doing all of those things helps these videos destroy the monster that is the YouTube algorithm. Also, make sure to hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time that I upload a new video of an area near you. If you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy checking out some of the featured playlists on this channel. Videos on other places like Beloit and South Beloit can be found in my Illinois playlist, my USA Small Cities playlist, or in my Wisconsin playlist. However, for now and the very near future, this video on Beloit will be my only on Wisconsin, but more will be added as time goes on. Last but not least, if you can't get enough of me on here, you can always go follow me on my other social media accounts, and those links are below. Both Beloit, Wisconsin and South Beloit, Illinois are a pair of cities that have seen a lot of negative headlines in recent years when the name gets brought up. Whenever a top 10 worst cities list is made on Wisconsin, Beloit always seems to find its way within the top 5. If you search for Beloit, they'll say to live in anywhere in Wisconsin besides Beloit, and some will say that South Beloit, Illinois is just like Beloit, Wisconsin. People will even say to live in Madison, Wisconsin if you have a job in Beloit and take the hour-long drive to get to your job. That's crazy. Apparently, drug usage, crime, and poverty rates are all really high in this town. However, when I looked up the official FBI, US Census, and other data for all things Beloit, I found different results, and I'll share those when we cross the state line. Maybe I've just been spending too much time in all these crappy Illinois cities that my definition of bad is different than those of the ones who live in Wisconsin. By the way, if you're new to this channel and watching the sky doing cool things during sunsets isn't your thing, I've listed timestamps down below so that you can skip ahead to the part that you might want to see. That could also be useful if you're just trying to get out of Illinois like everybody else. I do that with all of my videos though, so hold up on your urge to head to the comments section and say,
"I clicked on this video thinking that it was going to be about Beloit, and you never got to Beloit until you were 7 minutes in. Shame on you for not knowing where you're going before filming this video."
Meanwhile, South Beloit, Illinois is home to 7,600 residents, which is down from a 2010 population of 7,862. South Beloit is the most northern city a part of the Rockford metropolitan area and is within Winnebago County. The Rockford metro area as a whole has seen a decline of 20,000 residents since 2010, or a rate of negative 5.8%, making it the third fastest shrinking metro area in the Midwest. The median household income in South Beloit is $60,800, and the poverty rate is 11%. 16% of adults 25 and older hold a bachelor's degree or higher, and the median value of owner-occupied housing units is $125,000. Niche.com gives the public schools here an A-, and the crime rates are below average. This is South Beloit High School, home of the Sobos. So let's talk about what's been happening with Illinois and Wisconsin in recent years. I mean, this is a video that goes through a city that is divided by the state line of Illinois and Wisconsin. Earlier I mentioned how the Rockford MSA has lost over 20,000 people at a rate of negative 5.8%, making it the third fastest shrinking metro area in the Midwest. Illinois as a whole is estimated to have lost over 150,000 residents since 2010, as it's lost more people than any other state in the U.S. Data shows that most former Illinoisans have moved to Wisconsin, a state that is estimated to have gained 150,000 people since 2010. The biggest reason for the mass Illinois exodus that most experts and people familiar with the topic believe is for the high Illinois taxes. Illinois has the most debt per capita than any other state, and it has the second highest property taxes in the country, making it less attractive for companies to locate jobs and less attractive for people who want to keep their money to stay. When I start talking about the stats for the city of Beloit, they're going to look worse than South Beloit, Illinois. However, you'll see that South Beloit, Illinois, and Winnebago County as a whole has been losing population, while Beloit, Wisconsin, and Rock County, Wisconsin has not been. As we're still on the Illinois side of the Beloit area, there's really not much to South Beloit. It's really just a middle-class suburb kind of city. It's home to the headquarters of North American Tool, so at least you have that, South Beloit. Prideful. There's really not too much else to South Beloit, Illinois, so I'll talk to you when I get to Beloit, Wisconsin. If you're just curious on what the area is like, then the next several minutes are for you. Enjoy the elevator music. Up ahead, I will have escaped the state of Illinois and will be in Wisconsin. Believe it or not, Wisconsin is a state that I haven't been to much. I look forward to seeing more of this state in the future through making videos on this channel. I was in the Kenosha area and the southern part of Milwaukee once while in college, and then I came to Beloit in August of 2020, and that's about it. Now, to go with what I was saying towards the beginning parts of this video, Beloit, Wisconsin has found itself on a lot of negative lists whenever those are put together on the state of Wisconsin. I'm really confused though as to how Beloit made those lists after looking at the data. Granted, I haven't spent much time looking at data for every other Wisconsin city, so maybe I'm just naive and Wisconsin doesn't have many cities with high crime rates at all. But what I do know is that a city that's the same size as Beloit and has similar stats would be considered as an average small city in Indiana. If it were in Illinois, it would be heaven. Just kidding, Illinois. Sort of, not really. Nonetheless, Beloit, Wisconsin is home to 36,900 residents, which is down not even 100 people from its 2010 population, where the city saw its highest population count so far in the city's history. That's sign number one why I don't believe that Beloit is as bad as Reddit users and top 10 worst cities in Wisconsin lists say it is. Rock County, Wisconsin, in which Beloit is within, has seen a slight population growth since 2010, growing from 160,000 to 163,000. Maybe people in Beloit really are moving away from the area, but it's everyone in Winnebago County, Illinois, moving into Rock County, Wisconsin as a part of the mass Illinois exodus. The median household income is $43,000 per year, which is pretty low, and the poverty rate is 23%, which is pretty high. I can definitely acknowledge that, and high poverty rates and low median household incomes usually equate to high crime rates. Only 16% of adults 25 and older hold a bachelor's degree or higher, and the median value of owner-occupied housing units is just under $90,000, which is pretty low. The public schools here are rated as a B, and the crime rates are about double the Wisconsin rate. That rate could definitely be lower, but if you've been a fan of this channel for a while now, you've definitely seen places with much higher crime rates than that. Illinois is littered with smaller rural cities that have much bigger crime rates, for example. Meanwhile, there are a lot of neat older homes that line the street, as straight ahead is Beloit College, the oldest college in Wisconsin. It was founded in 1846 before Wisconsin was founded as a state a few years afterwards. Today, the four-year private liberal arts college enrolls around 1,400 students. Among the most studied degrees at Beloit College is anthropology and geology. When it comes to the area's history, it's told that Abraham Lincoln camped here in 1832 while taking part of the Illinois militia in the Black Hawk War. Beloit was settled in 1836, and the area grew as Turtle Creek and the Rock River provided a nice source of water. Resources were discovered in the area such as sand, gravel, limestone, and copper. A group of New England settlers came to love the area and platted a village in 1838. Originally, this place was called New Albany, after Albany, Vermont, not New York apparently. The name changed in 1838 to Beloit, which was a play off of the name of the city of Detroit, Michigan. Back then, Detroit was seen as one of the world's greatest cities, which is hard for some to imagine today, but it's true. And in 1848, Beloit was incorporated as a city, and it quickly became a spot along the Underground Railroad for slaves to escape from the South. Beloit became an industrial city, and some would consider it today as a Rust Belt city. In the 1870s, Beloit was known for its cigars. In the early 1900s, the city became a manufacturing hub as the Warner Instrument Company made devices that were used in World War I along with automobiles. There was also a large iron-making factory here during the town's heyday. However, Beloit Iron Works went bankrupt in 1999. As we stroll through downtown, I thought that downtown Beloit looked like a nice place to go get a bite to eat and get some fresh air. Along the banks of the Rock River, there's a nice path to walk along too. I can see if you're a local how this would get old after a while, but you could have a worse downtown, and it's also within walking distance of Beloit College, so that's good. Every year during Saturdays from May through October, downtown Beloit hosts the Beloit Farmers Market. Apparently it's the second largest farmers market in the state of Wisconsin. Here's a nice view of the Rock River during sunset. I thought that the Rock River, by the way, looked really pretty all the way from Beloit to downtown Rockford. South of Rockford, it's just your typical brown, muddy, farm chemical-infested Midwestern river. The abandoned warehouse-looking thing that you see on the other side, by the way, is what used to be Beloit Iron Works. You can see other remnants of older factories and warehouses as well throughout Beloit. like the building on the left. Straight ahead, you'll see a building with a red roof, and that is actually the headquarters of the ABC Supply Company, definitely Beloit's claim to fame. Beloit also has a minor league baseball team that's owned by not the Milwaukee Brewers, not the Chicago Cubs, not the Chicago White Sox, not even the Minnesota Twins, but the Miami Marlins of all possibilities. It's a high A affiliate of the Marlins and was established in 1982 as a part of the Midwest League. Originally, the team was owned by the Brewers, which makes more sense. However, in 2005, ownership of the team was switched to the Minnesota Twins, followed by the Oakland Athletics from 2013 to 2020, and now it's owned by the Marlins. Minor league baseball is a weird business, my friends. The stadium in which the Snappers play isn't even in downtown, it's in a residential neighborhood a couple miles northeast of downtown, in which I didn't go through while making this video. Now this list is for all of Rock County, which Beloit only has a population of 37,000-ish, while the county has a population of 163,000, so these numbers might not reflect Beloit itself. However, the top employers for Rock County, Wisconsin include Mercy Health System in first place with 2,600 employees, Janesville School District has 1,500 employees, the Beloit School District has 1,200 employees, Rock County has 1,200 employees, and in fifth place, it's Beloit Memorial Hospital with 1,100 employees. Now that I crossed the Rock River to check out the part of Beloit that is west of the river, I also wanted to point this out as it's a real issue for the area, and that is drug usage. While traditionally, meth usage in Wisconsin has mostly been found in the rural, isolated northwestern parts of the state, an article from 2017 written by the Beloit College Roundtable states that Rock and nearby Walworth counties contributed to 40% of Wisconsin's meth labs for the first half of 2017. It's much harder to find data today on what areas struggle with drug usage the most, as in the early 2000s, data was found by police reports for meth lab busts. Today in the US, meth labs aren't really a thing as much anymore as they were in the early 2000s, as meth is now imported from Mexico and is spread throughout the whole country. However, certain areas see higher usage rates than others. When you factor in drug usage, that usually is related to poverty and higher crime rates. While a violent crime rate of 400 for every 100,000 isn't very high, apparently for Wisconsin it is, and it's often the case that violent crimes are related to a dispute involving drugs throughout the entire country. So, time to get a job, area residents, and stop using meth, and if you're offered it, say no. Now I'm back in Illinois, as this is really the only area that is developed west of the Rock River, north of the city limits of Rockford. Between here and that is basically just farmland west of the river. However, the east side of the river is completely developed. In this video, you saw the city of Beloit, Wisconsin, and South Beloit, Illinois. Beloit, Wisconsin has appeared on many negative lists of the state of Wisconsin and has appeared in many negative headlines. However, I speculate that. I'm not saying it's some kind of utopia, but I'm also not so sure that it's one of the worst cities in Wisconsin. I have yet to explore Wisconsin, so when I do that, I can make that judgment. You can also see that if you're a fan of this channel and you've seen my recent Rockford videos, I have gotten much better over the course of 6 months in terms of knowing where to drive to tour a city, so maybe I'll come back and view more of Beloit because I didn't even go to Beloit High School and I left out the minor league stadium, so maybe I'll come back and make a second video when I come back and do maybe some videos on other areas in Wisconsin. With that said, I do end the video here. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, as doing all of those things helps these videos destroy the monster that is the YouTube algorithm. Also, make sure to hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time that I upload a new video of an area near you. If you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy checking out some of the featured playlists on my channel. Videos on other places like Beloit can be found in my USA Small Cities playlist, or in my Illinois playlist, or in my Wisconsin playlist, which hopefully I will be adding to in the future. Last but not least, if you can't get enough of me on here, you can always go follow me on my other social media accounts, and those links are below. We'll see you next time. Peace!